the definition of financial management. Basically, we were discussing about business finance, and we discussed about that finance include these three areas: financial management, capital markets, and investments. Then we discussed about financial management in detail. We discussed about the definition of financial management, that it is concerned with the acquisition, financing, and management of assets with some overall goal in mind. Then we discussed about the first, that is the acquisition. We also call it investment decision. We discussed about this in detail, not going in detail on this. Then we discussed about financing decision, that how left hand side of balance sheet will be financed by right hand side of balance sheet. We discussed about what is the best type of financing. I have told you about two sources of financing, debt and equity. Then I told you about the best financing mix, that what will be the financing mix: 10% debt, 90% equity, 20% debt, 80% equity. What will be the best financing mix? And what is the best dividend policy? Today we will discuss about dividend and dividend policy, that what is dividend and what is dividend policy, when we will discuss bonds and shares. Inshallah, today we will discuss about bonds and shares. Now, how will the funds be physically acquired? We discussed about this thing, that what will be the procedure for acquiring the funds. The third decision in financial management, the important decision, it is asset management decision. Now, in the first two steps, we made a plan that we will invest money here in this business. Then we arrange money for purchasing these assets. Now, the management of these assets. Now, after investing your money in business or in assets, the third thing is to manage these assets properly. Asset management decision. How do we manage existing assets efficiently? How to manage these assets efficiently, that they will give you more productivity. Now, financial manager has varying degree of operating responsibility over assets. A financial manager, he has responsibility for current asset as well as fixed asset management. You know what current assets? Inventory, cash, account receivable, note receivable, these things. And you know about fixed assets. Fixed assets are basically land, building, furniture, and all other assets, fixed assets. But keep in mind that finance manager, his responsibility for current assets is more as compared to fixed asset management. Why? Because fixed asset management, it is the responsibility of plant manager, not the finance manager. So basically, finance manager is the responsibility for current asset. It is more than fixed asset management. So the third decision in financial management, it is asset management decision. In asset management decision, we discuss that how we will take decisions about the management of our existing assets, that how to manage these existing assets efficiently so that their productivity will be increased. Then we discussed about that finance manager, his responsibility is on current assets as well as fixed assets. But finance manager, his emphasis will be on current assets management and not on fixed assets management, because for the fixed assets management there are plant managers. They will be responsible for the fixed assets management. Now we will discuss about bonds and shares. That what is bond and what is share. Now basically bond and share, these are contracts. Suppose this is a bond. This is basically an agreement between two parties. Suppose its face value is $1,000. Its maturity time, it is suppose 5 years, and it is paying 9% interest. Now what does it mean? There are two parties, one is A and one is B. This A, this is basically a corporation or a company. They are in need of money. They need money for their business. Mr. B, he is an individual, he can be a company. Now, this company is demanding money from the public in the form of these bonds. They are selling these bonds. Their face value is 1,000. So if B want to purchase this bond, B will pay $1,000 to A. Now A will pay 9% interest annually to B, and he will pay this interest for 5 years. After 5 years, he will return this money to Mr. B. So this bond, this is basically an agreement. Agreement of what? Agreement of loan between the lender of money, is the lender, and A is the borrower. So bond is what? Bond is a contract between the lender and the borrower of loan. And I told you about all these things. This $1,000, this is basically called face value. This is also called maturity value. This 9% interest, this is called coupon. And this 5-year time period, it is called maturity. Now here is a problem in this bond. This company, if it is in profit or it is in loss. They will pay 9% interest and they will pay $1,000 back to this party. Amount is fixed. So this thing is haram in Islam. This thing is not legal. This thing is not legal. Any confusion about this? So bond is basically an agreement for loan between the borrower of money and the lender of money. A is borrower, B is lender. In this bond, there are basically terms and conditions on which both these parties, party A and B, agreed. Who will hold this bond? Who will hold this certificate? Who will hold this agreement? B will hold this agreement. On maturity, he will present it to the company and company will pay $1,000 on maturity. And company will pay 9% interest each year to B. Okay, now come to share. What is share? It is also an agreement. It is also a contract. Suppose Mr. A, B and C, they have a business idea. Business idea. I'm writing business shortly because if I will write it, so it will take too much time. No. But they don't have money. It is a very good business idea. But they don't have money to start that business because this business needs a huge sum of money. Billions of dollars. No. What will they do? First option they have, they will go to a bank to take a loan. But bank is not willing to give that much big amount as a loan. Or they are demanding for a guarantee. A, B and C. So they don't have any guarantee. Means any piece of land, building, business, anything, but they don't have. So bank is not giving loan in such a situation. Suppose they need this much money. $100 crores. Now, which option is left? They left an option. We call it Securities Exchange Commission. These three will go to Securities Exchange Commission and they will register a company. You know about joint stock company, you studied it already. Register a joint stock company. Joint stock company. From name it is clear. It is joint stock company. Means it will be the combined stock of a lot of people. They did the whole process. After doing this process, what they did, they issued, suppose the price of one share, it is 100. So what they did, they issued 1 million shares to the public. Price of one share is how much? $100. So they issued it to the general public, means anyone can purchase this share. Some, you people call it, I don't know how to write, I think it is like this. So anyone can purchase, anyone who want to invest his money, he can purchase this share. The price of this share is how much? $100. Suppose Mr. D want to purchase a share, so D will give $100 to the business, the corporation, this joint stock company. $100, they will give $100 to joint stock company, and they will get this certificate. D will get this certificate. This certificate shows ownership in this joint stock company, that D is owner in this joint stock company by an amount of $100. Same is the case of these 1 million shares. Company sold 1 million shares. So when they will sell 1 million shares, they will get this much amount in the company. Now, with this amount of money, they will start business. Starting the business, if their business is good, they will generate profit. Suppose they generate a profit of this much, $1 million. So now this $1 million will be distributed in these shareholders, just like D purchased one share. So similarly, E, F, G, H, I, J, some purchase 20,000 shares, some purchase 1 lakh shares, some purchase 50 shares, some purchase 100 shares. So all of them, they purchase share. So this profit will be distributed in these shareholders. This profit distribution of joint stock company, it is called dividend payment. It is called dividend. What? Profit distribution in shareholders is called dividend. And that money which is not distributed, okay, take another example. Suppose the company generate a profit of 2 million. How much? 2 million. They distribute 1 million in the shareholders. 1 million in the shareholders. So we call it what? We call it dividend. And 1 million, they keep it in the business. They retained it in the business. Maybe in the future there will be some problem. Maybe they will expand the business. So they retain out of 2 million profit, 1 million they give it to the shareholders, and 1 million they retain it in the business. This retained amount, this is called retained earnings. So one is dividend and one is what? Retained earnings. So this is basically bond and stock. Now keep in mind, in stock, in share, if there is profit, what was the value of share? $100. If the company is in profit, the price of this share, it will go up. Maybe it will go to 110, 120, 130, 150, so on. It depends. But if the performance of the company is not good, you will not receive any dividend. You will receive nothing because there is no profit. And maybe the price of this share, it goes down to 80, 70, 60. If the performance is worse, it will go down, down and down. So you will bear losses. So there is chance of profit and there is chance of what? Loss. The share price goes down, you will be in losses. So this investment, it is on the base of profit and loss. But investment is in bond, it is profit. Why? Because if the company is in profit or if the company is in loss, they will pay interest to the lender of money. But here, if the company is in profit, they will give you dividend. But if the company is in loss, they will not pay you any dividend. If the company is in profit, the price of the shares, it will go up. But if the company is in losses, the price of shares, it will come down from $100 to $70 when the price of share comes down. So what will be the loss? $30 will be the loss. So this is the difference between bonds and shares. Bonds are haram from Islamic point of view, and shares, these are halal. But in this halal, still there are some points that we will discuss, that how it is halal. So inshallah in the next class then we will discuss about it. If you got some problem, then comment me in WhatsApp group. So if you need some improvement in this lecture, so then I will try. If you are not understanding these bonds and shares, so tell me, then I will discuss it again. Okay, Assalamu alaikum.